Okay, well, Fred Gleek here with Bill Luis again for our weekly update on Bill's goings and comings and speakings and not speaking. So, Bill, how was your week?
The exciting, wonderful world of voiceovers.
Absolutely.
It was good. You know what I have liked to have done better? Yes, but it came. I'd made $4,331, so I can't complain for a week's work.
Got it. Okay, so and then is there still a backlog of stuff that came in from the time that you had pushed people off?
Well, yeah, there are a couple of projects that have now been pushed forward to Monday.
Got it. Okay, so let's start with the first with Monday.
Monday, I did some grocery store training, which came through a client in China. Again, just to emphasize the point that this is a global business. And it's interesting because sometimes clients from other countries, their client, like for instance, my Chinese client's client was a U.S. client.
Ah,
So it doesn't necessarily mean their client is Chinese. It's very
wow.
interesting how that happens.
So are you telling me that a Chinese advertising or production company has an American client?
Yes. Yeah. I do a lot of work for Mettler Toledo. They do weights and scales. That actually, they're an American company, but the production company is in China that does all the work. I know, very interesting. And I've had like Skype or telephone recording sessions with clients that come through my European clients that I assume will be European, only to find out they're in New York or someplace here in the U.S. So,
Yeah, so it really is a
yeah.
global business, yeah. So not
Um,
only are we in debt to China, but taking over all our other industries.
I did some work for Lowe's. They're an ongoing client, so they keep me relatively busy. I did some training on robots that are used in manufacturing settings that do spot welding. That was
Yeah.
fascinating. Driver training for the state of Nevada.
Oh, well, then you'll have to let me know because I'm probably at least violating three or four or 500 of those laws.
So if you're sentenced to not only a fine but also to take online driver training, I'm probably the guy that will be filling your ears for several
That's,
hours.
okay.
I did an interesting narration on how pharmaceuticals prepare to go to market. And it really was interesting because I didn't realize there were so many drugs that were created, of which so very few ever actually make it to market.
It,
Thousands and thousands are created for every one that makes it.
it's kind of like you're sitting right there near the Bears training camp. Very many people in high school try and play football, but very few make it to
That's exactly right. Exactly right. And then I did a couple of car dealership ads.
actually the
But,
best ones, though.
but I'm
Those,
sorry,
those
speaking of football players,
aren't necessarily the best ones.
oh, the Bears, we're going back to the Bears thing?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I think it's pretty clear that they're not the best ones. We're working on that though. We're like Cubs fans and say, there's always next year.
Yeah, absolutely. So you did that for them, and then what else happened?
I had a couple of car dealership ads to finish up the day. Those weren't big jobs; those were relatively low paid jobs. But so Monday that was busy, and then Tuesday, I did a tutorial for non-English or students who don't speak English as a first language on how to write an essay. I did some cybersecurity narration for a company called ABB. I did some work for PricewaterhouseCoopers. I do a lot of narration for PwC. Little local commercial for a credit union and a couple of other regional commercials as well.
Oftentimes, it's really interesting to me as sort of a outsider trying to get in on this now. Which, by the way, mine has been put on hold for a number of reasons, trying to create my own little booth here. But one of the things that always amazes me is how you can do any kind of voice work and by the next day have no idea what you even said.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I think it's because a lot of it has to do with the volume of it, and a lot of it has to do with I really don't understand most of what I'm talking about, so it just doesn't make a permanent impression. It's just I don't want to say gibberish, and it's important to somebody, and I treat it that way. But there's so much of it floating around up here, I just can't hold on to it.
I get it. Okay. So
Yeah,
so is that all of we had on Monday?
that was all for two. That was Tuesday.
Tuesday, I'm sorry.
And
Yep.
then Wednesday was a lighter day. I did three corporate narrations for European clients. And then I picked up a new client on Wednesday. I picked them up through voices.com,
Okay.
and it's a dental office management system software.
Okay.
And it was like an explainer video, or basically a sales video narration. So I did that. And then I did some training for Genworth, some insurance product training. And I said a lighter day. That's not really a light day. I mean, that's actually, there's like 5 solid projects right there. So it was a good day.
Got it. Okay, so then on into Thursday, I guess.
Thursday, I did an explainer video for a European client. I did some more work for the Regular Baptist Denominations Publishing House, which I do on a regular basis. So it's like, for instance, this time it was I was promoting their Vacation Bible School materials for 2016. So if you call in, you get it put on hold. That's what you would hear.
By Regular Baptist, you mean not Southern or not Conservative Baptist, right?
Yes, they're their own sect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say as opposed to the irregular.
Yeah, well, there's those.
Whatever that might, I don't know. I did promos for the New Mexico PBS, as I do every week. Did some corporate training, narration for Sun Edison, some work for Hitachi. Also, I did a promo for Immaculate Heart Radio in response to the recent shooting in South Carolina.
Wow.
So it was just essentially a promo asking people to keep those families in that community in your prayers. And then also I booked another new client through voices.com. It was a community safety notification. It's a community that has, apparently there's a large chemical manufacturing plant. And this is, so if there were to be an accident at the plant, these are the safety precautions residents of that community should take. I did that, and then, now you'll like this, because you're a golf fan, a former top golfer from the Philippines.
In my country, yes.
In your country, yes.
Meaningless here in the United States.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. It's never too late to join the senior tour, or the Champions Tour, as they call it now. So, but that's another discussion for another time. I was contacted by Fox Sports, and they wanted me to audition for the promo open for the second round of the U.S. Open that would air today. Well, long story short, I got the gig. They contacted me at midnight last night because everything, they had to wait till the play was over. They wrote the new copy. Everything had to be ready. They contacted me. I was up until about 12:30 or 1 this morning and recording that. I got it to them, and it aired this morning at 10 my time Central. Was for their what they call America's pregame. And it's, the lead-in to the coverage. So it all opened with me on a promo. So that was kind of cool.
I'd like to, do you have that sitting around?
Well, it just so happens, Fred.
Well, I'd like to hear it because I want to hear. I know everybody else could give a rest behind, but
I'm covering your face here in the video. I don't want to do that. I'm opening up a browser. I've got it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, which is simply called Bill DeWeese. But for those watching this on YouTube, forgive me because I'm covering Fred's face. I don't mean to.
That's really not a loss.
Right? I'm trying to here. I'm going to move another little picture of you over into that space on my screen. Uh-oh, my screen just froze. I'm moving too many things around, Fred, and everything just froze on me. There it goes. There it is. All right, so I'm going to YouTube. And just bear with me as I do this.
How long was this promo? 30 seconds?
Promo's I think they said 40 seconds in total.
Okay.
And, here we go.
For you golfers, get ready.
Yeah, ready. Here we go. What you'll hear is a little bit of lead-in and in a few seconds before, and then you'll hear the promo leading into the coverage. And here it is.
The U.S. Open, right here on America's Pregame.
Hard to hear.
Yesterday at the 150th.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As you know, if you've watched this at all, I have to use I play my headphones into the microphone, so I'm just simply going to swap out better headphones for this purpose. There we go. And you will definitely hear this, Fred.
Okay.
And here we go.
The U.S. Open, right here on America's Pregame.
Yesterday, at the 115th U.S. Open, the entire world met the newest major figure in the game of golf, Chambers Bay. While many gave the course a warm welcome, the course didn't always give one back.
Definitely not a happy camper.
Rory struggled, Ricky faded fast, and Tiger, well,
I don't think I've ever seen a guy release a golf club like that in all my years of playing.
while some never found their footing, others felt right at home.
Lands it absolutely perfectly.
What a beautiful shot.
Hello.
At the end of the day, two players stood at the top, Henrik Stenson and the year's biggest comeback story, Dustin Johnson. Now it's cut day. Who will survive? Who will crack under the U.S. Open pressure? It's time to step back into the chamber.
All right, before we move on,
And that
around
was
two-
that.
I think they should have actually flown you out there to watch to really give the proper emotion to the.
I agree. I tell you what, I was glued to my TV all last night watching it, though, because I was ready, just in case they called. I wanted to make sure. And plus, I love it. You know, I love that stuff. So
So cool. So then you got to do that, and
Yeah.
that was what kind of pay they give you for that?
not enough. I will tell you, it's not nearly as much as you would think. It
Two-
aired. What? You're in the ballpark. I'll tell you, it only aired one time. And
Yeah.
It was not prime time, so it was in. Yeah, I mean, it was. In all honesty, in comparison to the rest of the week, it was barely worth my effort to do it. Except, as a marketing guy, you'll get this. There's huge cachet. There's a lot of marquee value there. I've got that all over social media. I'm making sure my agents see that. I'm making sure everybody sees that. So it kind of builds that. But in terms of money wise, yeah, it wasn't much at all.
Meaning to say it was less than 250.
It was less than $250,
Yeah.
and we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But it was more than more than $5 and less than $250. I'm joking now, but that was my Thursday. So that was my third and final new client of the week, all coming through Voices.com.
Got it.
Interestingly, yeah. And then today I did a short corporate narration. I did a regional commercial. I did a second corporate narration, and then I did a thing for a company called Brownstone Recovery Services. It's like if you're in a class action lawsuit, that you can hire them as your legal representation to make sure you get everything that you deserve. And it's like a 2.5 minute explanation video.
Got it.
And so that wrapped up my week.
Basically, their tagline is, "We're one of the reasons why your insurance rates are so high."
Something like that, yeah.
Hey, so what brilliant insights from this week can you tell our watchers, listeners, podcasters that might be of help to them? Any ideas come to mind?
Well, yeah, I mean, the main thing is this. And I've mentioned it before, but it bears repeating. New clients are your lifeblood. And every week, one of the important things I'm looking at is not only am I getting repeat work, but do I have a stream of new clients? And my goal, generally speaking, is about if I get two new clients a week, that's good. That allows me to grow. That's a growing number.
Yep.
And this week was 3. Last week, I believe, was 2. Week before that, I think, was 2 as well. So as long as I'm on that track, then I'm very happy.
You know, this question might sound like it's coming from out in left field, but given what you know is going on with my stepson, I think it's relevant, and I think others in the field might be curious about this. Have you given any thought, and I don't know if you probably wouldn't have to be here in LA, you could probably do it in Chicago. Have you given any thought to trying to find an agent to do on-camera work as well?
I can't say that the thought hasn't crossed my mind. I would love to do on-camera work. I've always wanted to, but it's really just a matter of focus and time. And the way my business operates, I can't just up and leave and go into the. If I were to go into the city, meaning Chicago, that's a half day for me just to go. Yeah, just to go do a 1-hour session. Yeah. But I would love to do on camera.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see maybe in the future. But yeah, it's something I like doing that kind of stuff.
I was going to say, yeah. Well, good. So that pretty much wraps up the week, right?
That wraps it up. Again, the total for the week, 4,331. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And maybe we'll see if Fox Sports ever uses me again. But they were pretty complimentary, so I'm happy. And now enough money to go to McDonald's for lunch next week.
And ready to go out and sit by the pool. So there's Bill DeWeese, and I'm Fred Gleek. And Bill, thank you very much for sharing your week with us. And as always, thank you folks for listening and or watching.